Hello everyone, I'm Becky Goldsmith with Piece of Cake, and I want to show you a product I've just recently discovered. It is the silicone release papers. It's designed to be drawn on, and then you take the silicone release paper and transfer those lines onto the fused fabric, onto the fusible side of the fused fabric. And the instructions to do that are right inside here. They're clear and easy to follow. But to do it this way, the instructions have you using an iron to transfer the lines that you've drawn onto the release paper. I don't really want to use an iron for the way I'm going to use it. What I want to do is use this product to transfer the lines that I'm going to embroider on this block. This is our Hexy Bird pattern, and these dark lines are embroidery lines. Now I could take the block and put it on a light box and put my background fabric over it and trace it, but I don't have a light box. I don't want to tape it to the window because then the fabric can droop. The other thing I don't like to do, really, especially on a pattern this big, is try to trace on the fabric that's laying on the paper because it wants to move, and I don't like that. The silicone release paper is going to be much more accurate and in the long run easier to do. So inside the package there are several 8.5 by 11 sheets, and there are two big sheets. I think these are 17 by 22 or 23. So I would open this up. Now, because I'm going to draw on the paper and then turn it upside down and transfer it to the right side of my background fabric, I'll need to take my pattern and turn it upside down. Now, I've made the lines on the pattern dark enough, and it's on a light surface, that I can see through this to the lines I want to trace. If I was going to have a problem with that, then I would need to get the lines onto the back of the pattern, trace it with a pencil first. But I'm able to see through this. Now, my pattern has center lines on it. I would transfer at least a little bit of those center lines onto the transfer paper so that when I position this paper over the fabric, my background fabric, I can line the transfer paper up with the pressed in horizontal and vertical lines in my background. But here I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of how this works. So there are some nice lines right here. Let me zoom in just a little bit. I am going to trace this with a pencil, and not just any pencil. I tried it with a number 2 pencil and it works, but I would prefer to use a pencil that's better for fabric, and that would be the Soline 9mm in either gray or black. I think it's called both in some applications. And it doesn't take much. You don't have to push very hard to make a nice line. And I'm going to trace just a few of these lines so you can see what it does. If I make a mistake, I can erase it. So for instance, if I wanted to tidy up that line, I could, just like that. Now, I'm not going to draw the whole thing, I'm just demonstrating for you here. So what I'm going to do is take this piece of fabric that simulates a background fabric. I'm going to turn the transfer paper over. Now, the lines I drew are next to the right side of the fabric there, and I'm going to burnish it. Now I could use an iron and I'm sure it would work, but I don't want to heat set these lines into the background fabric. So instead I'm going to use this smooth plastic thing. This is a folder or a burnisher that Martha Stewart did. That works just fine. What if you don't have a burnishing tool? You can use, say, the shiny side of a pen. You could use, I have also a bamboo sort of burnisher. I could do this. You just want to be careful not to tear the release paper, right? and you can check your progress every now and then. See how nicely that transferred? It's perfect. It's not heat set in. It's easy to do. It was easy to trace. It's accurate. What's not to like? It did occur to me that what if I wanted to transfer onto a dark fabric where the dark lines wouldn't show? Would it work with the 9mm white chalk? I'm just going to make some test lines for you here. I'll just draw a line there and a line there. And then I'm also going to try it with the General's pencil. So I will put the General's pencil here. The General's pencil does not draw as easily on the transfer paper. So now when I turn this upside down, the General's pencils are here and the sew line 9mm lines are there. So you can put that underneath and you can see them. I'll use the same burnishing tools. Now I'm pushing down pretty hard, just like that. They transfer well enough to be able to see it. Oh look, what if I use the edge of this? That actually sounds like it works pretty well. And it does work. It works as well as using the side of it. If I was doing this and I decided that I could see the lines but I needed to see them a little more, I might go in and just pump up those lines a little bit with the pencil. For this application, I like the 9mm chalk better than the General's pencil. Now, one last thing before I let you go. This transfer paper is reusable. It's really reusable. So I can come in here and with either the white chalk lines, I wonder if I'm on the right side of this. I am not. I need to turn this over. With an eraser, I can come in and remove these lines, which is really nice. So you can use this paper over and over and over. It's good, I have been told, if you do fusible web, you can use this to protect both your ironing board and your ironing surface. That's handy. The instructions, the package instructions, talk about painting on this with acrylic paints and then being able to peel that painted stuff off. It's not what I do, so I probably won't be using it for that, but it's nice to know that it would work for that. I suspect that this paper has many, many other uses, and it is not that expensive. Let's see, a package is only $10.95. You can't beat it with a stick. It's handy to have. So, I hope you enjoyed this little demo, and I wish you many happy stitches.